Hi, my name is Emma McNabb, and today for my commemorative speech, I will be giving a commemorative speech on Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Here in our audience in person, we have my parents, Allison and David Sawney, joining us, and via Zoom, we have my grandparents, Dennis Jett and Linda Schuster, and also joining us via Zoom, we have my friend Anna Myers, a sophomore at Davidson College. Here are the speaking aids I will be using throughout the speech, short speaking aids as you can see, and behind me here is the visual aid I will be using. Now, to begin. Imagine graduating as valedictorian of your class at a prestigious Ivy League university and that you've just been accepted to Harvard Law School. This is a lifelong dream. You are one of 9 women in a class of 550. Now, after your arrival at Harvard, imagine that you were invited to a dinner with the dean of the law school. At this dinner, attended by you and the 8 other women in your incoming class, the dean asks all of you to justify as to why you took away a spot from a man. How would this make you feel? Would you feel valued? Would you feel welcomed? Would you feel worthy? This happened to the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader-Ginsburg. However, these indignities did not stop or slow Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They were like logs in a fire that fueled her dedication to fight gender discrimination. Today in my commemorative speech, I will be sharing why the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is truly an inspirational figure to all Americans. Through both her work as a lawyer and a Supreme Court justice, she advanced gender equality and profoundly changed America for the better. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was smart, strategic, and strong. Though the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg only stood 5 feet 1 inch tall, the shadow her legacy cast over American jurisprudence was like a giant's. She was admitted to Harvard in 1957, as I mentioned, only one of 9 women. There at Harvard, she was the first woman to ever serve on the Harvard Law Review. After transferring to Columbia Law School, she was also the first woman to ever serve in the prestigious Columbia Law Review, where at Columbia she graduated first in her class. Ginsburg later went on to become the first female law professor at Columbia, and the first female professor to ever achieve tenure, later going on to fight for equal pay for herself and her female law professors. These were some of the reasons why Justice Ginsburg is such an inspirational figure. As a lawyer for the American Civil Liberties Union, she co-founded the Women's Rights Project, where she litigated sex-based discrimination cases and methodically eliminated gender-based discrimination in institutions. Not only was Ginsburg smart, she was strong and she was strategic. When Ginsburg said, "Real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time," she reveals the incremental strategy she used in bringing court cases to the Supreme Court. As one of the first women to litigate cases before the Supreme Court, she brought 5 landmark cases before the Supreme Court, which she then would later win. These landmark cases would set new legal precedents, which allowed women to advance equality and allowed women to achieve a mortgage without a male cosigner, serve on a jury, and obtain a credit card and a bank account in their name. During oral arguments of one of these Supreme Court cases, Ginsburg famously said, "I ask no favor for my sex. All I ask of our brethren is that they take their feet off our necks." As a strong advocate for gender equality throughout her career, as she saw gender equality through the greater lens of human rights for all people. Later on in her career, Ginsburg would say, "Women's rights are an essential part of the overall human rights agenda, trained on equal dignity and the ability to live in freedom all people should enjoy." After successive appointments to lower courts, she was appointed as an Associate Justice to the United States Supreme Court in 1993. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was the second woman ever to be appointed to the United States Supreme Court and the first female Jewish justice ever appointed. When asked about women occupying important political offices and important offices of power, Ginsburg said, women belong in all places where decisions are being made. It shouldn't be that women are the exception." With any obstacle in Ginsburg's life, she persevered through. While she was a law student, she raised a child and nursed her sick husband. After putting her child to bed, she would do her schoolwork and her casework into the early hours of the morning, most nights only getting 2 hours of sleep. Ginsburg was strong both mentally and physically, as she continued to work out every day until her death, doing over 20 push-ups in a day. Her gym routine was the basis for a book written by her personal trainer. While serving on the Supreme Court, Ginsburg was diagnosed with cancer. This did not stop her from continuing her work. As with any other obstacle in her life, she persevered through. She scheduled her chemotherapy sessions on Fridays so that she could recover as much as anyone could in 2 days, and then was able to return to her important work on the court by Monday. She displayed this almost inhuman strength throughout her life, as she would again be diagnosed with cancer and use the same scheduling routine. And was able to continue her work and return to the bench. In the day following her beloved husband's death, she returned to the Supreme Court and reaffirmed her dedication to the Supreme Court and to the American people that it served. During her time on the Supreme Court, Justice Ginsburg expanded the doctrine of equality under law. In writing an essential opinion in the 1996 VMI case, which banned states operating all male-based institutions funded by taxpayers, eliminating state-funded gender-based discrimination. In the year 2000, she affirmed women's reproductive rights and the women's right to choose, and a landmark case that reaffirmed the Supreme Court's decision on Roe v. Wade. Her fiery dissent in a 2007 equal pay case directly resulted in Congress passing the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act in 2009, allowing women to have equal pay under law. Throughout her amazing life, Ruth Bader Ginsburg flourished in the face of adversity. Throughout, her spirit was unbowed to the many indignities she suffered as a woman in a male-dominated world. Her inspirational life story has inspired multiple movies and documentaries. And she even was displayed as a recurring character on Saturday Night Live. The legacy she left on the American legal system was vast, and as she fought for equality for genders like none had before her. From both her time as a Supreme Court justice and a lawyer, the legacy she left on the American judicial system was vast. As President Obama said of Ginsburg, she was a warrior for gender equality. Someone who believed in equality and equal justice under law not only had meaning if it applied to every single American. She has inspired countless generations that have followed after her to fight for equality, to stand strong against injustice, and to persevere through adversity. The late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is truly an inspirational figure to all Americans.